Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. It's now 53 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this Monday morning, a Monday that we're hoping is sunny after all the rain that we have over the weekend. With me, I have, who is back? Guess who's back? Inspector Michelle Lewis from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is back with us. As you know, we have the police service on every Monday, just keeping us up to date with how they are protecting us and, of course, how we can stay safe under their watchful eyes. Good morning, Inspector. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to you. It's good to be back.
Welcome back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
I did. Just a tad.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
So I know this morning we're actually going to be discussing safety tips for those drivers.
Yes.
Is it that we're targeting a particular age group?
We are looking at young persons, young drivers. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service recognize that during the July-August period, we have more young persons driving more frequently on the road. And so we want to, share some information that would help parents and young drivers. And young drivers may not necessarily mean 17 years old. But we understand that it starts from there as well.
Right,
yeah?
okay.
So
all right, well, let's start with the parents. Let's start with the parents. How do we help the parents?
All right, so we understand through the traffic management, the Highway Patrol and Traffic Management Department, we have seen within the last 5 years that 51% of the fatal road traffic accidents, sorry, not fatal, not 50, 119 drivers were involved in fatal road traffic accidents between the age of 17 and 25 years old.
119? That's over the course of how long?
5-year period.
5 years. Okay.
So that is like 18% of the driving population. And we recognize that out of that, 87% is male and 13 is female. So we know that the male are more adventurous.
We want speed.
Well, I didn't say that.
I say it. I say it. We could say it. You could say it because I think that's a big part of the problem too, Inspector.
Well, speed, lack of
experience.
Yeah.
Judgment is actually what I was looking for. So sometimes they drive in and they don't anticipate the space or whatever in overtaking and that kind of thing. And of course, consumption of alcohol and marijuana and substance like that will affect you.
And it would impair your judgment as well.
It will.
Yeah.
So we looked at first management, journey management when you're going out. So we encourage young persons, drivers generally, when you're going out there to drive, ensure one, you have your valid driver's permit and there's a second driver.
Okay.
Of course, you drive the certificate of insurance as well. Plan your route, for example. So if you know that you're going to wherever in Trinidad and Tobago, look at alternative routes should something happen, should an accident happen, or you notice something like, for example, a vehicle is following you and you want to take another route to get home. Know the different routes that you can take in order to get there. We also look, of course, at the demerit point system. So for a young driver, right, you have the demerit point system where you have, for that first year of driving, you have 7 demerit points.
7?
7 demerit points.
That's how much you're allowed?
That's how much in your first year as a young driver, regardless of the age. So that if you reach that threshold of 7 points within 1 week, you will be disqualified for 1 year of driving.
Have you ever seen somebody actually go up over that 7 within 1 week?
I have not, but it is possible. Because, for example, if you are driving, let's say, driving without the wearing of your seatbelt, right? That's 4 demerit points.
And if you're using your phone at the same time?
And if you're using your phone, if you're using it at the same time, you lose all your points in one shot.
In one go.
You see how easy it is? 1 week, 1 go, 1 day, 1 stop.
Yes.
One stop.
Right.
Oh, how much is the bus route?
7 points.
Ooh,
One
that's
time.
a full 7 there.
All right,
Wow.
nice.
6 points actually.
6
Okay.
points.
Yes.
But
So
Inspector,
you lose. So, and these are things that young people and young drivers are not aware of.
Right.
So, and the thing with the demerit points is that even though you think you wouldn't pay it, or you think you get away, licensing office, they have a record of it. So when you do, for example, go to renew your driver's permit, it will come up
on your
digitization in your tail.
Yes, so
Inspector,
you will not get away.
I didn't hear you mention the defensive driving courses. Do you, of course, encourage people to do that as well?
Certainly, that is one of the things that we also look at as well in sharing information with young persons and young drivers. And a lot of insurance companies offer that to young drivers. They actually make it mandatory that you do the defensive driving course, and of course you get a discount.
And also it's incentivized because you get a discount.
You get a
Your parents get that discount when you do that defensive driving
So
course.
the defensive driving also helps you.
Right.
Yeah, it also helps you. And of course we look at peer pressure. So,
Now we're going into
you are out with your
psychosemantics here.
friends and your friends are, encouraging you to drink and drive. Or for example, you just drank some beverages that, has alcoholic content in it, and then you're going to drive. The probability that you will not drive in, with proper judgment is high. So relax a bit, take your time, and then, or utilize the driver, the second driver that you would have gone
Provided they didn't drink too.
Provided they didn't
But
drink.
another concern that I know happens with younger persons as well. You go out and you're pumping your lime whole night or whatever the case is. You mightn't drink anything.
Right.
But how does exhaustion affect the driving?
Yeah, it does. So it will impact your judgment as well, because remember you're probably tired, and just as you said, during the August-July period,
Pump is pump.
from one event to the next,
outside
I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
So you go to one, you finish in the wee hours of the morning, you barely get some sleep. Sometimes you might get a little job, so you're working as well. You go to work and then as you say, you're pumping again. So it will impact your vision, it will impact your judgment, and it could cause fatal accident or serious or traffic accident. Then you have to look at the skidding and all kind of thing. We could have a lot of rain these days, yes?
I was hearing something, and I'm not sure if it's correct, Inspector, that you can stop by a police station and take a rest, or you can pull it by a police station and take like a 5-10 minutes, or
yes, you can.
how much ever you need to take, and then go on your journey.
Yes, you can.
Ah.
Yes, you can.
Is that so?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yes, you can. It's
Tell us more about it, Inspector.
Is it?
No, and not because I'm a police, right? But I have done it as well.
Yes.
Say I had a long day, working nights and whatever. I'll pull up in whichever station, St. Joseph or whatever station. But anybody, when I was working at a Rima station, I would see persons would sit down in their vehicle. They would go to one of the clubs in the district and just sit down in their vehicle and wait till morning. And then leave,
and
because
then
it's a safe space and it's a good thing to do, because you know that, it's better to be there, catch yourself a little bit, then go on the road, than to go on the road and then
bounce
we
up
have
our police
to come.
instead.
Yeah, so it
is totally okay to do something like that.
Totally okay, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, because
Yes.
Look how I never
so
did
when you
anything
do
about
that though,
Just
no
let the officer
judgments, a
know.
judgment-free zone, or so will they come and ask you, just to make sure you're okay, and then leave you to
Right,
be?
so instead of what you can do, of course, is go into the charge reception area and let the officers know that, officer just taking a little park here and not feeling too well.
Inspector.
Yeah, we are not as
Yes,
bad
you
as
can
you
do
think,
that. You can do that. You can do that.
I want us to be honest, right, Inspector?
Sir?
I know several young ladies who have had not so pleasant interactions with police officers, with male police officers, when they go to the station, whether it be to make a report, to get something, especially when they're dressed in club clothes. You come from a club or a party or whatever the case is, and you're bouncing the wrong police station, or you bounce up the wrong policeman. It's not going to be, at least you're not going to feel as safe as you're talking about there. How do we mitigate against things like that?
All right, so that I have experienced it, but I have actually seen it, right? A lot of, practically all, if I can be so comfortable to say so, has CCTV cameras, so that if you don't park within the compound, the precincts of the station itself, you can park just outside the fencing, which should still be in view. You secure your vehicle and you just relax there if it is that you don't want to be inside, because if you go into the compound, certainly an officer would approach you.
Yes.
So if it is, for example, the person doesn't want that, but you're right outside the station, you can park, and so you know that the cameras will pick you up and you're safe, that is also fine. Yeah, but we don't expect you to park like in a
deserted
isolated
area,
that kind of thing, and put yourself at risk.
Of course.
Yeah.
So if females or anybody feel that way, well, I would suggest that. But generally speaking, on all shifts, all teams in the station, there's always a woman police.
Okay.
Yeah, always have a woman.
And that should provide some level of comfort, so you could go on. Can you go and ask for the
the female
police?
one, she can go and ask for
Okay.
the female.
So you can feel a bit safer. Now, I know during certain periods, we normally have an increased police presence, so we normally have roadblocks and stuff. Can we anticipate that now that when the July-August vacation?
Yes, and we have already started doing that. We have engaged in the active directive patrols. Actually, a lot of the traffic management team, a lot of the highway patrol and traffic management team, they have been, a lot of the stolen vehicles, they have been recovering within the last week. Actually, they have been doing good work. I don't want to say too much, but they have been doing some really, really fantastic work, very commendable, if I must say, so that we are seeing the patrols out there, both on foot and mobile. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I want to
we
encourage you to keep it
yeah.
up. And any last words for our drivers, our young drivers?
Of course, knowing the emergency numbers to contact is always important. And of course, letting your parent or guardian or responsible adult know when you reach your destination and when you're leaving, so that they can anticipate, average how much time it will take for you to come home. Know the emergency numbers, 999, 555, that kind of thing. Some cell phones allow you to have like an emergency app where if something happens, you just press it and it will send
like
a
the TTPS
location.
app, not so?
And not only TTPS, but generally.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of persons don't like to download a lot of apps on their phone because it kills their battery. So we encourage you first to use the TTPS app. But then also there's other, the phone devices themselves has it where you can, so that you can always feel a level of safety. So it will actually, and have your location on, please, so that we'll be able to help. So that let's say something happens to you, that's the first thing that the police will be able to use to track you. So that if your parents find, well, up to now you haven't reached home and you said he left at this time, it will raise a red flag.
Yeah.
And of course, share your numbers. Young people, you don't like to give out your numbers for your friend and stuff like that.
Me, send my
parents a call. Share your numbers, give it to your parents.
And give your parents your friends' numbers as well, just in case.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that, should something happen, I have them all on my phone.
And let's hope you're not a paranoid parent just calling every minute and calling everybody, because I think that's oftentimes what children are trying to avoid, is having their parents calling all their friends the minute they can't get onto them because I just didn't answer the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, or 5 minutes late.
5 minutes late and mommy just crazy calling everybody.
But mommy is concerned, you know what I mean? So you had to kind of take it all together in the same breath.
Inspector looks so guilty. Inspector looks guilty.
He just called all the friends, Inspector.
That is a guilty look, Inspector. 5 minutes later, no, the whole list. She's just going through the list. Okay, who I didn't get on to? Let me call and see.
That's the training to make sure everybody's safe.
For real. And I mean, we are making joke of it, but yes.
The entire nation at this point.
Yeah. But
thank you so much for joining us this morning, Inspector.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
And it's nice to have you back.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break, and when we come back, we get into your birthday shout. So stay tuned. It's in our morning show.
Love and peace. Let's